Hey everybody, welcome to my review for Seven, debuting on 4K Ultra HD this coming Tuesday, January the 7th. Clever, right? It's also currently playing in IMAX theaters. David Fincher's real breakout debut. I mean, there's Alien 3, of course, but this is the one that caught the world by storm here. They have it also available in a steelbook, but I was sent the digibook packaging, which I had the former digibook from Warner Brothers when that first came out on Blu-ray. Then I also had that DVD one that was like fancy and stuff, but I think I sold that, didn't hold on to it, something like that. So it comes rather in this slip case here. Here's the back of that slip. So it's got some, movie stuff. And then so you have this awesome the picture took as a photographer Brad Pitt, John Doe down the hall. It is magnetically sealed, so you kind of have to pull a little bit on it. Here we are. More interesting stuff, and it folds out. There we go. Just pictures and stuff. No, I was like, is there a booklet in here or something? But no, it's just literally photography and stuff like that. The disc here is over here. So you have to kind of be very careful. You have to kind of get in there, pull it out a little bit, and it stops a little, which don't like that. Um, Here you are. That. But I wish they would have had like a little piece of plastic spindle for it to go on, but unfortunately, no, that's not what they went with here at Warner Brothers. There's a digital code that is included as well. I have redeemed it on my own, so don't ask in the comments or on social media. Don't want to hear it? Don't. Seven. What am I going to say about Seven that you don't hear all these people talking about all along the way? Um, it's a really cool movie. Taking aspects of film noir, mixing in with like Blade Runner, another Silence of the Lambs type movies were very popular in the 90s. This is the pinnacle of which, in which people pretty much give this as a starting point for all the dark and gritty stuff they wanted to see in the 2000s because Seven was so inspirational. So you see inspiration, we got inspiration, we got inspiration. So, you got a city thing, dark, raining all the time, like a Blade Runner, but then you have the serial killer FBI detective type hunt, like a Manhunter or Silence of the Lambs. Engulfing in Seven, which is perfectly stylistic. David Fincher comes from music videos and stuff, but what this film does, and I don't think probably not the first in the 90s, but it's the one that encapsulated the grunge feeling of the 90s best, in my opinion. It just nailed it. It's perfect, and that's why everybody wants to be like Seven. I know that The Crow went for that and everything like that, but I think Seven did it much better, much more lived in, natural. It's just like everyone wants that look, or they want to be in that city for the rain for a sec or something like that. But really nailed that. And then when I was younger and I first saw the movie, there's a couple things that took me by surprise, like the opening credits using "Closer" by Nine Inch Nails was what? It's like a revelation to me. An adult movie using my music? What? It's crazy to me. Just that caught me right off the bat with this movie. Um, as well as little things like I was just talking with Aaron Newworth and Peter Paris um, regarding like how this movie's seen as cold and emotionless, humorless, and that's false. All it takes is watching the movie and knowing it to see this. But like, there's humor all over. For instance, there's a part where we see Detective Somerset, played by Morgan Freeman, really researching and looking up stuff about the Canterbury Tales and things like that. And then we cut to Brad Pitt. Like bored, like patiently waiting in a car, and someone knocks on his window, hands him a bag, and he pulls out a bunch of Cliff's notes. That's fucking funny. So for me, when I first saw it, it was when this was I was like 13 or something. My parents and I we rented it and I saw it on VHS for the first time, and they busted out laughing really hard at that. And I was like, "Why?" I understand. They had to pause it and tell me what Cliff's Notes were. That was the first instance I ever known of Cliff's Notes. But there's also a lot of stuff with Gwyneth Paltrow, relationship at home. There's a lot of humor stuff throughout the movie, and that gives it its emotion, its character, things like that. There's a lot of stuff on the line here, and I think a lot of film broy culture, which gets bashed a lot. Loving this movie, holding it so high up, makes people think something of a movie if they've only seen it once, never seen it, or been so distant from it, never revisited it. And what they remember is, the aesthetic. They remember the ending, John Doe, and the gruesome um, uh, crime scene investigations in this movie. It has more than that, and that's why people like it. That's why it holds up so well to all the scrutiny and things like that. Um, I think it's just a tremendous movie. You can't go wrong with it. Everybody sees it for the first time. It's like, whoa, that was crazy. Especially if you don't know the ending, that helps as well. But this movie is more than its ending. This is like another Sixth Sense, where it's like there's a lot more reason to love this movie and like this movie. The ride is great. The ride is amazing. The character work is stunning here. Brad Pitt, while I don't think he's quite there yet as an actor, you're seeing him take the steps to get there. And it's quite impressive. Like this movie, when I first saw it, I was like, I thought Brad Pitt and Gwyneth Paltrow were just pretty faces, people, magazine people, just paparazzi, the ones that they like to cover, the beautiful people. They didn't do cool movies, and I'm like, holy crap! I had mad respect for him for doing a movie like this. Now you see big names doing like horror movies and stuff like all the time. No, not a big problem. Genre isn't an issue anymore, but in the 90s, like horror was still a chance to take, and doing something like this, very adult. I was also angry at this movie when it first came out because my beloved Halloween franchise had returned after a hiatus with Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, and this one destroyed it at the box office. People were seeing it, but all it took for me was to see the movie and go, "Oh yeah, it's way better than Halloween 6: The Curse of Michael Myers." I think with stupid. I grew up a lot, guys, with my film stuff. I've learned in my long time. But Seven, tremendous movie. I was a big David Fincher and Andrew Kevin Walker fan after this. I wanted to learn everything about. I watched Hideaway, the Jeff Goldblum and Alicia Silverstone movie. There was also like, yeah, Alicia Silverstone's in this. I was hyped for 8 mm when that came out. Fincher's The Game. I was like, dude, this is good, folks. Which it is good, but it's no Seven or Fight Club, which came after it. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's nothing really to say here. One moment I did notice, maybe I'd noticed before and didn't really think about it before, but so like there's a scene where Detective Mills is going. They're looking at the photos, and he's going to get a beer. And he's like, "Hey, I'm getting another beer. Do you want one?" He's like, and Somerset's like, "Nah, I'll have wine." And Brad Pitt's in the background. You see him fill it up, and he brings him out a full, like, regular glass full of wine, and that's hilarious. Just knowing, like, he just doesn't know the stuff. He's kind of gets an idea of what this guy is. But so Seven, the film, it's a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5. I'm kind of wavering there because there's like little things with like Pitt's performance and stuff I could improve or whatever. But it is what it is. But I'm gonna say let's give Seven a perfect score, 5 out of 5. It's endured all these years for a reason. I was very high on it when it came out. As I grew older, like I had a part where I was like, maybe it's not as great. Maybe Silence of the Lambs it owes that, but no. But then I'm watching it now and I'm like, I think it's a 5 out of 5. Seven. Now let's get to the video for this. It's a new 4K restoration. The video transfer is the only thing new here. So it's HEVC slash H.265 encoded for 2160p, aka 4K, and a 235 original aspect ratio. This thing looks gorgeous. It's marvelous. There's not a flaw in the world. It's the grossest, most beautiful looking movie you could see. There's a lot of stuff like I noticed like raindrops on a taxi cab when John Doe is getting delivered to where he's dropping himself off at the police office. There's just a little extra grime and grit to this textured picture that I didn't even know was possible to come here more. It's less green looking, which is cool. Everybody's clothes really pop with, furry threads, things like that, the coats and things, the rain everywhere. Blood stains, like just every little thing is enhanced. It's crisp. The depth is much improved here. It's an incredible watch. So this is going to get a 5 out of 5 from me. Moving on to the audio, this is the same 5.1 DTS HDMA track as before, which is a 5 out of 5. It's tremendous. It is all around the room. It's loud. It's awesome. from the start of the movie, feeling like you're in a silent room, to the helicopter going across the screen as the credits go black. It goes black for the credits. It's awesome. Gunshots, feels like you're there. It's loud, pushing. The subwoofer hits at perfect intervals and amounts of pressure all throughout. Just awesome. So to go with it, we have an English descriptive language track. You get both you get Parisian French and Canadian French. You get Castilian Spanish and Latin American Spanish to go along with German and Czech language tracks. Now, subtitles. You can get English SDH, German SDH, French, Spanish, both Latin American and Castilian, Dutch, Chinese, Korean, Czech, Danish, Finnish, Norwegian, and Swedish. Now, let's move on to the extras, which are the exact same as they have been before on these discs, but there is some changes to them. There's a couple missing here from the release, but I don't think it's that controversial as to why. The ones that are missing from it are the ones that are regarding the restoration for the Blu-ray edition, the original Blu-ray that came out. So I don't think that really matters here to this one. So, if you want to hold on to every bonus feature, then go for it. So what we have here carried over is the commentaries from the stars, the story, the picture, and the sound. The stars, of course, being David Fincher, Brad Pitt, and Morgan Freeman. The story being Richard Dyer, Andrew Kevin Walker, Richard Francis Bruce, Michael De Luca, and David Fincher. The picture being Darius Kanji, Arthur Max, Richard Francis Bruce, Richard Dyer, and David Fincher. And then the sound commentary with Ren Kleiss, Howard Shore, Richard Dyer, and David Fincher. We have the deleted scenes, which includes 6 deleted scenes. We have the 2 alternate endings, the one of the storyboards and the original test ending. We have still photographs, John Doe's photographs, Victor's decomposition, police crime scene photographs, production photographs, and the notebooks. We have a production design featurette, mastering for home theater featurette, exploration of opening title sequence, the early storyboards featurette, exploration of opening title sequences, rough version featurette, exploration of opening title sequence, final edit featurette, exploration of opening title sequence, stereo audio commentary 1, the concept design Kyle Cooper featurette, exploration of the opening title sequence, stereo audio commentary 2, the sound with Brent Biles, Robert Maguth, and then a theatrical electronic press kit. So it's all here, because I don't think the ones they removed matter too much. I'm going to go ahead and give this like a 4.5 out of 5. So 7. The film, 5. The video, 5. The audio, 5. And then the bonus features, a 4.5 out of 5. So basically, when it comes to a 4K set of I'm going to just bump it up to perfect 5 out of 5 score. But note, the only thing you're getting new is the video transfer on the film, which I found excellent. So if you'd like to order yourself a copy of 7 from Warner Brothers, you can use the Amazon link that is in the description. I appreciate it if you do. If not, spend your money wherever you like to. But this is a definite upgrade for fans of 7. I had a cool time watching it. Hope you enjoy it. Happy anniversary to 7, turning 30 this year. Not till September, but I'm glad they got it right out the gate here. So, thank you for watching. Appreciate it as always. Tell your friends, share the video. Who knows? And can't wait to get the podcast up and running again. Got some cool ideas going on and getting ready to beef up for summer of 2015 at 10. Excellent time. Yeah. So, as always, stay film positive.